This is Fred Ricciani of TSC News here to quickly recap Bellator 138, aka Bellator MMA Unfinished Business, aka Kimbo versus Shamrock. My Twitter feed, my Facebook feed is blowing up because finally, we were going to get the fight that all the people were waiting, well, some of the people were waiting for. This was a freak show fight in every sense of the word. Ken Shamrock ripped to shreds. I mean, ripped to shreds. Looking like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Got the sideburns and everything. Coming in, Kimbo Slice, bald, got the beard, got the tats, got the chain. I don't recall if that arrow that was shaved into his chest was a cross or an arrow pointing to his chin like Brian Ebersol. At first glance, it looked like in a cross. He did thank Jesus after the fight. But this was a freak show. Here's how the fight went down. They stood toe-to-toe. Ken Shamrock went for the takedown. Didn't get it at first. Went for it again. Got it. Took his back. I thought he locked in the rear naked choke. I thought that the world's most dangerous man of like 1992 was going to tap out Kimbo. I mean, look, Kimbo is terrible. Terrible on the ground. He's Kimbo Slice. He's Kimbo Slice. I'm thinking even Randy Couture right now could, get off his chair, take off his scarf. Hell, Randy Couture can even keep his scarf on. Okay? And he probably could submit Kimbo Slice. So Ken's got it locked in. And it's really tight. Or at least it looks tight. And Kimbo's looking like he's going to tap. And it's almost like pro wrestling. It looked like he was teasing that he was going to tap. And he escaped. Kimbo Slice escaped an RNC attempt from Ken Shamrock, UFC Hall of Famer? What? So they got up. Ken was like, holy doodle squat. Kimbo was like, holy doodle squat. And he knocked him out. And poor Ken. For those that want to say he took a dive, well, look at the cut above his eyebrow. That ain't no dive, son. That's a big-ass punch. Big soup bowl from Kimbo Slice. So Kimbo Slice won. TKO round number 1. Hell of a comeback. It was what it was. A freak show fight. I would hope and pray that this is the final time we ever see Ken Shamrock inside an MMA ring or cage. I hope so. He's 51 years old, dude. You got your UFC Hall of Fame induction. Hopefully Bellator paid him a lot of money to fight. Right off into the sunset. Go chill. Go do commentary. Go train kids. Do something, man. But just please stay out of the cage. Kimbo, you got to say the right guy won in terms of business, right? Kimbo's 10 years younger. Kimbo can beat guys at Ken Shamrock's level, whatever that is in 2015. And you could put Kimbo against a young heavyweight, maybe an Alexander Volkov or somebody else they get that they want to market as a young rising star, and Kimbo can put him over. So it's a win-win, although it was very disconcerting to see Ken Shamrock, a 51-year-old man, take that kind of damage. But this event, Bellator MMA, Unfinished Business, was pretty kick-ass. They brought out the big set. They even had a cool arch as a signal for him in St. Louis. It was awesome. Presentation was great. I didn't sense a whole lot of hype for this fight, coming in this whole event, but a lot of good Twitter activity, not just from MMA journalists, from a lot of people that I didn't even know still watch MMA on my timeline, celebrities and friends included. So hopefully he does well in the ratings. As far as the other action goes, we had Daniel Straus win via, I think he won via submission here. Let me actually pull this up because my mind's on Kimbo and Ken. We had a great fight you guys should absolutely go out of your way to see, which was Patricio Pitbull, the current featherweight champion, against, why is his name Daniel Weichel. Daniel Weichel, or Weichel, because he's German. So what happened was Weichel and Pitbull were standing around, round number 1, feeling each other out. Okay, decent action. And then Weichel just goes nuts, tags Patricio. Patricio's knocked down. He's raining down punches. And John McCarthy steps in. And I'm thinking, holy doodle squat, we have a new champion. But no. It was the end of the round. But Michael actually thought he won. And then John McCarthy said, dude, I stopped the round, not the fight. Poor guy. So I figure, all right, Patricio's done. His brain is in Mississippi somewhere. No. Comes in within a few seconds of the second round. Big hook. Knocks out Michael. It was nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Crazy. Just absolute chaos. We had Michael Chandler, who's a mutual friend of my good friend, Diamond Dallas Page. He is also, like me, a disciple of DDP Yoga. And he used some of those DDP Yoga skills, those Mizzou wrestling skills, and that ferocity of the Michael Chandler we know and love to destroy Derek Campos and submit him in the first round. Look, Campos isn't a top 10 guy, a top 15 guy. Not a great fighter at all, but it's a nice rebound win. And look, if you're Chandler now, you're back on track. If you're Bellator now, you can start marketing around Michael Chandler again. Look, the guy got screwed over, I think, in that Eddie Alvarez decision. As much as I like Eddie Alvarez as a person, at first glance when I saw their second fight, I thought Chandler slightly won. And then the first Will Brooks fight, while he was tagged against Will Brooks, I figured, you know what, Chandler should probably win this, and he didn't. And then the third fight, with the third straight loss with Will Brooks, okay, he just straight up lost that fight. But still, there were two bad decisions. He was coming into this 3 straight losses. The guy Michael Chandler's caliber is certainly better than 3 straight losses, but he overcame the adversity, got the job done. Well done, Michael Chandler. Let's see right here. Some people are asking me, do you have any idea who Kimbo Slice's next opponent is? No, I do not. But like I said, it should be a young heavyweight that's pretty marketable. That's what I would do. Okay, here are the rest of the results. Daniel Strauss beat Henry Corrales. It might as well have been anonymous because the guy doesn't have a Wikipedia page, but Daniel Strauss got the win via submission in round number 2. I missed the Bobby Lashley fight where he fought Dan Charles, who I don't think is related to Ray Charles, and I don't think he's from Lake Charles. But from what I was told, Fred, you shouldn't go out of your way to see this fight, so I did not go watch this fight. Although I did see the animated GIF where Bobby Lashley suplexed him, so I guess that was cool. TKO round number 2. And yeah, I'd say that's about it as far as anything notable on the show. They did make a major announcement for September. In September, they are actually going to do an event with Glory Kickboxing. That's right. Bellator and Glory teaming up for Dynamite. September 19th. It is going to be at the SAP Center in San Jose. I believe that's formerly the HP Pavilion. The old home base of Strikeforce. And we're going to get Liam McGeary taking on Tito Ortiz for the Light Heavyweight Championship. We're going to have a 4-man tournament, one night, featuring King Mo, Phil Davis, and Emmanuel Newton. And we're going to get a Glory kickboxing match, which is absolutely, positively bananas. And it's going to be Joe Schilling against Paul Semtex Daly. Now that is one hell of a spectacle. But the question remains, what's Bellator's long-term strategy? You're giving fans some really interesting fights with a lot of stars from the past. But you also have to prop up the stars of the present and the future. And it's easier said than done. It certainly is, especially in MMA that's not predetermined like pro wrestling. It's tough. Some of the ratings for other Bellator specials outside of Ortiz versus Bonner didn't do so well. I'd say the Premier Boxing Champions ratings haven't been as good as they should be, particularly the Amir Khan fight, which I think did around 780,000 viewers, excuse me. So what can Spike do? I mean, I think the main thing is just being consistent, having great fights, trying to get these guys to go out there, promote themselves, maybe even bring pro wrestling back into the station. I'm not saying you got to re-sign TNA and pay them an exorbitant amount of money. But, when they had TNA Impact Wrestling on the station, for all of its faults, it served as a great promotional vehicle for Bellator. Hell, I worked for MMA Uncensored, and it served as a pretty damn good promotional vehicle for our show as well. So maybe it's adding pro wrestling. Maybe it's, figuring out unique ways to market people. I was disappointed in the Amir Khan fight. I thought that would do a lot better, considering he may be next in line for Floyd Mayweather, unless Mayweather, decides to live up to his words and fight GGG. We'll see about that. Maybe it's just the fact that Friday night typically is just not a great night for TV, and While WWE was able to carve their niche with SmackDown for 10 years, it did take them, 10 years to carve that niche. But I also don't know what the ad rates are on TV for these Bellator shows and these kickboxing shows. They may be a lot higher than what TNA got and other shows got. So even if they're doing lower ratings than, say, last year, they might be still doing pretty good in terms of sponsorships. I don't know. It's interesting. I think this fight will do relatively well. In theory, this should be the highest rated Bellator show since Ortiz and Bonner. Whether that cracks the 7-figure mark remains to be seen. But I want to hear from you. What did you think about Bellator 138? How do you think it'll do? What do you think the future of Bellator is? The future of Kimbo Slice? Also, bonus question. What do you think about Joanna Jacek? How do you pronounce the damn name? Joanna Jacek. Okay, I'm going to say it that way. I butchered her name. I'm sorry, honey. Please don't kill me. Taking on Jessica Panay. UFC Berlin on Fight Pass Saturday night. Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us. Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this video and podcast, please click the like button. Please share this with all your friends. And please do not forget to subscribe. We have a ton of exclusive interviews with all your favorite stars in the world of pro wrestling, mixed martial arts, and much, much more. Rampage Jackson, Chael Sonnen, King Mo, Rich Ace Franklin, Mick Foley. The list goes on and on and on and on. So what are you waiting for? Until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the fight.